Hello everybody and welcome to Robin's TV Extra Time. Today we're taking a look back at Bristol City against Swansea City. So many chances for the Robins across the 90 minutes, but it was the Swans, clinical Swans, who took theirs and took 3 points away with them. I'm Alex Woods, and joining us for today's episode we have former Bristol City striker Leroy Rossignol in the house. Leroy, you were with us across the 90 minutes here in the studio. Just as we look back at this match and reflect on, a disappointing day in the end for City, what were your overriding emotions?
Frustration, pure and utter frustration, because Swansea came into this game in no real form. 1 point out of their last 18 available, and it showed in that first half hour of the game where City created opportunities, all from set pieces, dominated the game territorially. Swansea, just towards the end of that first half, had a couple of opportunities that maybe should have done better from, but you could see they were lacking real confidence in the way they played, and just felt there's an opportunity that City get the first goal and the game would open up. But the longer the game went on, the less confident City became and the more confident Swansea became. So the momentum just slowly but surely changed. And then second half, when Swansea got the goal, they could sit back, defend it, and they did it fairly well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll take a look at all of the chances for City and Swansea from today's game. But before we do that, let's take a look at the statistics, really, that tell the story of this match today. And we're going to highlight, or you're certainly going to highlight, perhaps the most telling. But if we look and draw your eyes to those total shots, the third row down, 19 to Swansea's 9. But then compare that with the XG, the expected goals, one above, 0.94 from those 19 efforts. What is happening here?
And sometimes, stats can lie, but actually I think the stats actually clarify what happened in the game. You look at that, 19 shots to Swansea's 9, but only 3 shots on target for City. Swansea with 5. They created the better quality chances in open play, and that's shown by the expected goals of 1.75 to City's 0.94. So the quality of chances that Swansea created were almost twice as good as City's. And you come away from that thinking, City had territory, the ball was going in the box, we missed opportunities from set pieces. But then you look at the first chance for Ronald, in on goal, 1-on-1. With Max O'Leary. The second one for Potnik, towards the end of the second half, where he just flops it into Max O'Leary's hat. Another really good chance. Second half, had a 1-on-1 with Max O'Leary. So they had some really top quality chances. And then the goal from Tomlin. Is it Tomlin? Tynan, sorry. Again, a 1-on-1, a rebound of the goalkeeper. So the quality of chances that they created were much, much better for City, and that is a concern.
Yeah, a concern indeed. One to highlight as well from there on your screen a few minutes ago was the 11 corners for Bristol City. And at half-time, we were quite positive, you certainly were quite positive, about the effectiveness from set pieces, whether those were crosses, free kicks, corners. And we'll take a look at perhaps where City were having joy. And we felt that was going to be perhaps the breakthrough today. It was Jason Knight with the first, Rob Dickie had a couple. We'll take a look at these. And that was, as you say, an area where we thought City could have some joy.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just feel that a set piece is always going to open up the game. Early on, you're fresh, the teams are organised. And look, Ronald goes over, there's a coming together, the referee doesn't give a free kick. That's a magnificent save. Yeah. It's a magnificent save. The more you see it from Vigouroux, he gets up and he gets a really strong wrist on it and flicks it over the crossbar. And Jason Knight can't believe that's not hit the back of the net. But they had problems from set pieces all afternoon. And, even though Ronald's complaining to the referee, they didn't defend that near post area well at all. This was from a deeper set piece, and McNally does really well to get on the end of this. This looks like he's creeping into the bottom corner again. It's a terrific save from the keeper, and City seemed to get first contact on every single set piece that went in there, and that's why you felt frustrated, But to get that first goal, imagine what happens to the Swansea team. They've got to come out of that defensive fight, push the wing backs higher up the pitch, and then City can play a little bit more on the counter-attack and there'll be more spaces for them to exploit. This was a really good example of playing quickly. A quick throw, quick set piece between Sykes and Twine. The ball goes in the box, and Rob Dickie, that's a free header from 7 yards out, and he knows he should be doing a lot better from there. Arrives perfectly And you know what? 8 times out of 10, he hits that. He hits the target, Rob. And that's what was really disappointing. That's a really, really good opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Those, incidentally, all from the first half. As we say, you know, City having real joy, taking full advantage of what looked like, you know, some poor defending at times from Swansea. But another player to highlight is Nahki Wells.
Yeah.
Of course, started today. 2 goals in his last 5 in the league. No goal for him today. But we'll take a look at perhaps his movements in the first half, because, you know, upon reflection, we didn't feel he was massively involved, but we see here making runs, just not in areas you as a former striker want to see him.
I didn't want to see Nahki in the wide areas. He works ever so hard, but you see, look where Mehmeti is centre. That's where I want Nahki. And then Naki's out wide, and he's the one crossing the ball into the box. But look at this, the ball drops in the box. That's an opportunity for Nahki, because I just think he's got that innate ability to be where that ball just might drop. Again here, you see the setup. Naki's central now, but he's running out wide to get the ball, because that's the only pass that's on. And again, it's Mehmeti in that central area in the box. It's well defended by Kabanga at that near post. And, you know, I just feel, if you could swap them around, you know, in that build-up. I know there's a front 3, Naki's central, but he's always running away from goal. And he's the best striker at the club. He's the one who sniffs out opportunities. Naki's the one who gets across the defender and gets a toe in and sticks that in the box. And it's just that, I think Mehmeti would prefer to be in that position, just coming across. So when that is building up, if you're starting off like that, can you just say, just Nahki, just come away from play, and Mehmeti come into play to join up with play? Because Anis didn't get a kick of the ball today either, did he? He didn't actually get, you think, what was his contribution to the game? There wasn't a lot. And that is a situation where you do not have to be in set positions. All you have to do is make sure that your goal scorer is finishing up between the posts. And I don't think that happened enough, and that's why we didn't have any real clear-cut opportunities in open play.
Yes, indeed. And I want to highlight comments you made actually pre-match in many ways. We were sort of questioning, wondering what sort of Swansea we would see today. You know, this is a team over the years that have, you know, certainly built a reputation based on their possession, the passing, the build-up. But you were quite right in saying that today perhaps we might see something different from Luke Williams' side, perhaps more clinical, less creative. And that's perhaps what we saw across the 90 minutes today. Do you want to perhaps share some of your insights from how they approached this game and what sort of played out at Ashton Gate?
Well, they just didn't want to take any risks at the back. They were really safe with their passing. But if you remember, the goalkeeper, every time he put on his left foot, he just kicked it. He kicked it long, and he didn't even kick it to a Swansea shirt. And I was saying to you, it's going back to a red shirt, and he'll kick it long. If there's any, he just kicked it long, and he kept as far away as possible. They gave up possession high up the pitch, and then they got back into their 5, and it wasn't pretty to watch. And then it's borne out. You look at the result. They managed to keep a clean sheet, sometimes a little bit by luck rather than by good play. But they were not going to come here and give City an opportunity on a play. It was going to be had to be down to City to create the opportunities, and City didn't quite do that.
And it was over the course of the 90, you sort of look at the chunks of time where Swansea rather managed to wrestle that momentum. Let's take a look perhaps at, you know, where they started to have some joy in attack, or certainly in the attacking third of the pitch. And again, this is the first half, isn't it, with their first effort with Ronald? Yeah,
and they passed the forward runner and they passed it forward when they had the opportunities, and that was few and far between. McNaughton, he defended really well, but he's a good footballer. You know, when he was Swansea in the top division, he's been there a while, Carl, and that's a lovely weighted pass into that run from outside to in from Ronald, and he should be doing a lot better in a one-on-one situation. But, you know, and on the couple of occasions where they could pass it, they did, and they got runners in. I mean, that's just terrible for Putnik. That was just absolutely awful from a centre forward. You hadn't had a touch of the ball. Take a touch and hit it, and there's a massive let-off for Bristol City. But it was a warning. Yes. You know, we said it at half-time, didn't we? It was a warning that they were exploiting, you know, that when Dickey and McNally just got tight a little bit too early, they were able just to run in behind them and get their opportunities. Because when you link passes, the game becomes a lot more open, and they were finding the guy in possession with no pressure on the ball, able to play those passes forward, and had runners to hit as well. And they did it a couple of times, and it was a warning that City didn't heed.
Now, half-time followed, I think, all of those chances that we've just shown you there. And we were wondering, you know, of the two sides, who might come out and how they might perform in the sort of early phase of the second half. And it was arguably Swansea who had their best spell in the game. And this is actually where they got their goal.
It was no surprise Luke Williams sent them out early. And that's not because he was happy with them. Believe me, he was most probably fuming. And they started the second half really well. They got the ball forward, kept it, played the ball forward, won the second ball, and it's Franco just follows his pass. Again, for Potnick's not trying to pass it into him, by the way. It's just a bad touch. But he's followed his pass, got his little bit of luck, and then he's hit another shot on target. But there you see, forward pass, runners, OK, it's not great, but you win the second ball. Now you've got white shirts running forward. And he's just positive, plays and follows, gets a little bit of luck, comes back to him. And then you're just thinking, could Max have just pushed that to the side? Yes, of course he could have pushed it to the side. But it just ends up on the left foot of Tynan, and they get that little bit of luck. And you know what? He finishes it really well. He just, you know, it's a half volley. And, you know, the start of the second half, they actually deserved it for the way they played. They dominated the ball and put City under pressure. There's only a couple of set-piece opportunities they had. I think Norton defended a couple of crosses into the box really well. But apart from that, Swansea came out a lot better than they did in the first half, and I suppose in terms of their second half performance, deserved to take that lead.
Yes, absolutely. We highlighted, I think, post-match the impact of the substitutions for Bristol City. You know, certainly changed and got that momentum back, and they were, you know, led to a few chances. Ultimately, one of those was forced through an injury. It looks like to Luke, who seemed to land awkwardly, as we can see here, and forced off, and obviously hope for the best with whatever that is for Luke. And it was Sam who came on, and we will see a chance momentarily, but yeah, it didn't look good for Luke, did it?
No, it's a real shame. And you know, I think Alex was saying in commentary, you know, by the stats, best defender in the division, and you're hoping that's not too bad because he's been really consistent. He's played really well on the left side of those three at the heart of that City defence. But you know, with Sam Bell coming on, there was more energy in City's performance. You know, Sinclair Armstrong, George Earthy and Sam Bell all showed some legs, all really ran really hard, but they couldn't find that quality to create that really, really good opportunity to get back on even terms.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the one from Sam Bell, because I think we chalked that up as arguably the only one really from open play where they threatened the goal. The rest all from set pieces.
You know what? And that was a really surprise, Alex, because when we reflect, we think, oh, City they've created a few opportunities, but this was the best one. We're talking one from 20 yards out. Yes, he's hit it well, and it is a good save from Vigor, who played really well. But they're trying to find another opportunity where City had, and we couldn't find one. And that is, and although that's not how the game felt, that's how the game was.
Yeah.
You know, certainly second half. Vigor only had that one save to make. I think he caught a couple of crosses, a couple of scrambles in around the 6-yard box, but they didn't really have a lot of defending to do in terms of in and around their box, and that would be, on reflection, I think for Liam, that would be a little bit of the concern when you dominate a game as much as we felt that they did, that you didn't create enough opportunities to get on the score sheet.
Or like Swansea, you have to take them. If you're only getting a few. I guess, as you say, frustration is an emotion I think every City supporter will be feeling tonight. But there are going to be opportunities to put it right. And the first thing I just perhaps want to address is, you know, this playoff push isn't over by any means. You look at the table, there's still only 3 points, I think, separating City and that 6th spot that they were looking at. And they've got 2 games coming up this week. Stoke City on Wednesday night, and then a 7-side derby where you can forget form against Cardiff next Saturday. But look, 2 games in the space of a week. Liam Manning might not like the congestion, but it does give us an opportunity to perhaps get that playoff push back on track.
Look, absolutely. Look, at the moment, no one's grasping that opportunity, it seems, in the top half of that table. And against Stoke and Cardiff, 2 teams, both in the bottom half of the table, on paper. But we looked at the game against Swansea on paper, but it's an opportunity for City to bounce back. There's still a great chance for them to get in that top 6. Let's hope that they take it.
Absolutely. And will you be with us?
Definitely. I'm not missing this one.
And hopefully viewers won't be as well, because we'll be back in action on Wednesday night against Stoke City. Leroy, thank you very much for your thoughts. And of course, thank you for joining us here on Robins TV Extra Time. That is it for us here today. I say a disappointing result in many ways, but opportunities coming thick and fast for the Robins to put it right. We'll see you on Wednesday night for the visit of Stoke City. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.